One. We're live. We got a little bit of a different taste for you folks here today.
Yeah, we're remote working. Another sign of the times that COVID has put us in.
Literally. I got the vid last week, and we are gonna have to do it like this. So I'm at home, Big D's at home. We're calling each other, and we're gonna have really shitty ass gameplay on the screen for you to keep yourself busy while you listen to us talk. Um, So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Hopefully you're gonna love it. Also, I'm lagging. My internet's crap, so I might have to repeat some things. You should be able to hear me all the time, though, viewers. It's just a Big D won't be able to hear me sometimes. So
Yeah, so far we're good though. So we'll keep our
fantastic.
fingers crossed. Yeah.
So
So am I
what's?
coming through pretty clear? Like, should I speak a little louder, or is this an
No, you're
acceptable
good.
volume here?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Straight chillin', you are. So what's our first order of business here? We had just I think it was the vid, right? It was the
Yeah. I got the topics pulled up, and it looks like that was the first one.
yeah. So on like Thursday, right? I wake up at like 2 a.m. So it's like a lot of Thursdays ago. It's like 2 Thursdays ago or something. Wake up with like a sore throat at like 2 a.m. or something. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. Usually I don't have a sore throat at 2 a.m. You know, it's not very
Right.
standard to have a sore throat at 2 a.m.
Are there other times of the day where you usually do have a sore throat?
No, not really ever. So, that's kind of why it was a little weird, as I'm sure you can tell. Um, so I was like, dang, that sucks. But, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, maybe it's just my mouth sore because I'm waking up at 2 a.m. for some reason. So, I just go back to bed. And then I wake up at my normal time, and it's still a little sore. And this is at like, 6 a.m. And I'm like, oh, that's really bad. That really usually doesn't happen. But I'm like, whatever, it's just a sore throat, it'll probably go away. So I go into work, and this bitch does not go away. So like halfway through the day, I go to my boss, and I'm like, hey, I got a sore throat that has not been going away. Like, I might not be here tomorrow. Just saying, if like I get any other symptom, probably gonna stay home. And they were like, okay, yeah, just let us know how you're feeling. So Friday comes around, still got a sore throat. I'm like, this something's going on here. And it's a freaking Friday, and like I don't want to go into work, so I'm just like, frick it, I'll just call in. So I call in, I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay home. I don't know what the hell sore throat's doing, but it's not something it should be doing.
So, hey, let me ask you this though. Was that the first time that you've ever called in that unit?
No, I
Yeah,
got I got
it's the first.
sick. It's like the second time I've called in sick.
You know, that's the first time since I've been there. That's why I was like, damn, dude, he must really not feel good.
Yeah, I just had a hunch, man. I was just like something right about this sore throat. So I'm staying home, just chilling, and like it's just slowly getting just like a little bit worse. And I'm just like, well, good thing I stayed home, you know. And then it's hitting like I'm gaming with my friend like I usually do at near the end of the day. It's got to be like I don't know, like 7 or something, 7 p.m. And it's like I start to feel like hot. I start to feel really hot. And I'm just like, and it happens sometimes when I game. I just feel hot because it kind of gets exciting, when you game sometimes. Um, so I don't really think too much of it, and I keep getting hotter, and I sort of kind of have the chills a little bit. And at
Yeah,
this point, it's like
yeah, we're
probably
that's flu
9.
territory.
Yeah, at this point, we're at like 9 o'clock, and I tell my friend, because I told my friend that I stay home because my sore throat, obviously, and he had COVID like a week or so before me. So I told him, jokingly, I was like, "You gave me COVID, man."
Yeah,
I didn't actually think that he did
yeah.
or anything like that. Um, but just a little ha ha funny. And then like pretty much as soon as I stop gaming, the chills like really kick in. It's like real bad. So I go hop in the shower. I'm like shivering the whole hot shower. Really bad chills. Like I don't think I've had worst chills of my life. It was really bad.
Damn.
I'm just like shivering just the whole damn time, and I'm like, all right, well, let's pop a Tylenol and go to bed. Hopefully, it doesn't last too long. Um, and then I realize now that I'm gonna probably be out for at least tomorrow, if not also Sunday. So I text my girlfriend. I'm like, go get some stuff from the store, like Gatorade and other helpful things to have when you're sick.
Yeah.
Um, so she goes and does that for me in the morning. So I have some Gatorade, but I'm just out the whole morning. This is Saturday too. Keep that in mind, folks. This is when I didn't have scheduled work.
You went away there. I don't know if you're still talking.
Yeah, I was. I was Saturday when I was sick. Not Friday. I didn't have work the day that I was actually suffering.
Which is that not the shittiest thing to just you're okay, I'm sick just in time to have a shitty weekend. You know what I mean? Like that. I hate it when it pans out like that.
Yeah, definitely pretty bad. I like that. Not fun for sure. So, anyways, just laying in bed. I end up getting up at 2 or something, 1 or 2. Get out of bed. Still feel like shit, but I'm I need more Tylenol. So I go grab some more Tylenol, and then I go sit at my computer. I still kind of got a little chill going. Nothing too crazy. But I just kind of feel like shit overall. The chills kind of subsided for the most part, which was nice. And so I'm just chilling, just laying there. And then Sunday is just a little bit better. Sunday I'm feeling pretty good, but now my nose is starting to get kind of stuffy. I have a pretty bad cough. So still kind of sick, but feeling quite a bit better, to be quite honest with you. And then Monday rolls around. Man, I'm doing okay. I'm definitely still coughing quite a bit though, and I'm I don't want to get anyone else sick, so I just call in again on Monday. Pretty much expecting to go in on Tuesday, and then hold on, I gotta do this real quick. And then Tuesday rolls around, and I'm it's kind of I probably could have gone in, but I was still coughing, and I still had a stuffy nose, and I'm man, this thing's lasting forever. Right? This is wild.
So even by this point, you still don't even consider that you might have COVID? That wasn't even a thought?
I mean, it was a thought, but the main symptoms that you hear about COVID, like shortness of breath, loss of taste or smell,
right.
I didn't have any of that. It was just I had a fever and the chills, and now a stuffy nose and a cough.
You didn't get any of the fatigue?
No. I didn't feel really that
is.
fatigued at all. I mean, having the chills wasn't great for my. I didn't feel I could go for a run, obviously, when I had the chills. But on Monday, I felt I could have gone for a run. I felt fine. So yeah, I did not. The idea of COVID did not strike me at all as an option. So I didn't think so. So Tuesday's rolling around, and I'm kind of it's lasting a while. That's the only thing that at this point is making me more suspicious that it's COVID, because it's just lasting so long.
Wouldn't go away.
Yeah, it's just because since Sunday night, I hadn't really improved. It was minor improvements from Sunday night to Tuesday. I felt fine. I was like I said, I felt I could go for a run, but it was I was coughing, and I had a stuffy nose, and just I just felt congested and stuff. So I'm yeah, let's just give it one more day. I've got plenty of sick time. What's one more day? No big deal. So I messaged my boss. I'm hey, I'm just gonna go one more day. It is what it is. And they're oh, you need a doctor's note. I'm all right, well, I guess I'm not going one more day, because I'm not going to the doctor for a cough and a sneeze. It's I'm not going to the
Yeah.
doctor for that. Like, the fever's gone. It's not like it's freaking Saturday when I actually feel like shit. Like, I feel fine now. So I'm like, all right, you want me to come in and cough on people and I'll give them my sickness? I guess I'll come in. So I think I texted you too. I was like, hey, you can come in late. And then did you like call Kayla or something? I don't know what happened. But then Kayla messaged me out of the blue and she was
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't, well, because, and I had to explain this to my wife too, because she was like, wait, so what time are you working today? But like, when you tell me that something happened, I have to kind of get an explanation from someone else too, because sometimes your interpretation of things is a little bit different than reality.
oh, come on. What have I ever done that? Excuse me.
So like
Unbelievable.
I was like, Kayla, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then that's when she was just like, no, he's not coming, and
Oh, she
just
said
work
I'm
your
not?
normal.
Really?
Yeah. Well, no, exactly. No, okay, hang on. What actually happened was she said that you tried to call her while she was driving to
That
work,
is not
and she
true. I did
didn't,
not call her.
or whatever. You tried to contact her when she was driving to work, and she wasn't able to respond because she was driving to work.
Okay.
And she's like, that I haven't even talked to him yet. That's exactly what it was. She was like, just work your normal time. I haven't even spoken to him yet. And I was like, okay, I kind of figured that, this isn't exactly what was going on. So let me, get the other side of the story to
Okay.
figure
Well,
that
hold
out.
on. In my eyes, it was exactly what was going on because I messaged her, right? And I was like, hey, I'm going to, call in today too. I've still got the cough. And then she's like, okay, you're gonna need a doctor's note because you're at 3 days. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to the doctor for a cough and a stuffy nose. So you'd rather me come in and get everyone sick. And then I got no reply for like
Oh,
15, 20 minutes. So that was when I texted you. I'm like, I'm assuming they're just leaving me on red because they don't want to reply to my snarky comment, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm going in. So that was when I texted you.
okay.
I was like, I'm going in. And then obviously then you called Kayla and she's like, I haven't replied because I'm driving. So it makes sense now.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was
But
thinking.
like, yeah.
And then I get the text from Kayla and she's like, we're not going to make you get a doctor's note because we're just so nice and everything. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I stay home one more. And then my girlfriend's supposed to bring home a COVID test that day, just to test it because, like, at this point, it's like I can't really miss any more days for a cough and a stuffy nose, right? It's like,
Yeah.
at some point, you're just going to have to go in and just hope you don't cough on someone. I also coughed a lot less on Tuesday than I was. I coughed, like, only a few times. So I was definitely getting better. So, like, I had full expectation to go in on Wednesday, and then my girlfriend forgot the COVID test. And I'm like, all right, frick you.
Damn.
A
Well,
little
shit
annoying.
happens though,
Yeah, yeah,
Having
yeah.
a rough day.
Yeah, a little annoying that she forgot it, but it wasn't a big deal. I just went up and grabbed it on Wednesday before work. I went all the way up to work. I was like fully expecting to go in, grabbed the COVID test, and then it like wasn't a test that you could take in your car, so I had to drive all the way home. And then I took the test, and then well, as we all know now, it was positive. So
Yeah.
can't really go into work with a positive COVID test. So I took Wednesday off, took Thursday off, and then Friday, like, I woke up with, like, my nose was still stuffy, but I wasn't coughing, like, at all.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's Friday, I'm not going in. I'm not going in for one day of the week, you kidding me? So,
Yeah. No.
so I was
I
just
don't
like,
blame
we'll make it a whole week.
you. Yeah. Nice little impromptu surprise vacation.
Yeah, you could call it that. But now I'm feeling pretty good. I like cough like once a day, pretty much, and I don't know if you could hear that. That was my nostril trying to
Yeah,
breathe
you
through
do
it.
sound a bit stuffy still.
I think it's just because I woke up. That's probably it, honestly.
Well, no, even yesterday.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing pretty good. Like I have like one and a half of my nostrils, and I'm like barely coughing at all. We've been going for 15 minutes, haven't coughed once, so you know,
Yeah.
pretty good. I don't know if I want to take a COVID test tomorrow morning, because then if it's positive, I have to miss another day. I kind of just want to go in and just tell people not be around me.
Well,
So
the thing is, they say that like as long as you don't have a fever, they don't mind if you come in. Um,
yeah, but I don't want to
because
like
I know.
cough on someone and give them a fever. You
Oh
know.
well, yeah. That's
that's my thing. It's like yeah, I'm good to work. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I can't do my job, but like I don't want to cough on someone and then make them have to stay home for a week because they have a fever and maybe their immune system isn't as good as mine and they have the chills for like 3 days instead of just one.
Yeah.
Who knows? So
So, have you experienced any brain fog?
no,
No, no
you know
brain
me,
fog.
man. My brain is perfect in every way. So I mean, come on, man. What are you trying to say?
Well, I mean, there's new studies that show that there's like permanent effects to having COVID, like on your brain and your lungs.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feel fine.
So,
I was really
where do you think
surprised.
you were surprised that you even had it?
Yeah, because like I said, it wasn't any of like the major symptoms that you hear about. It was just like
Yeah.
I thought I just had the flu, but I was like, let's just get tested just to make sure. Since like my girlfriend apparently had free COVID tests at her work, I was like, may as well. And then it was just like,
So, where do
nope.
you think you guys got it?
I think it might have been you because you had COVID. What was like 2-ish weeks ago or something?
Were we hanging out though during that time?
Yeah, we did a podcast together while you were like assuredly
But
positive,
I
right?
thought you said your girlfriend was sick first, and then
No, 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 no. Oh yeah, I did say that. Turns out apparently she wasn't sick. She was just quote stressed out. Which
oh,
I've never heard of anyone getting a stuffy nose because they're stressed, but okay. I guess that's a thing.
huh. But yeah, I had been back, and like I feel like I was back for a little while before you went down. Like, you think that it was just lying dormant that whole time?
Yeah, it can lay dormant for like 2 weeks.
Oh
So
Jesus,
it definitely could have been that.
maybe I did give you the Rona then.
Maybe
Well,
you
if
did.
so, I apologize.
Nah, it
No
wasn't
doubt.
that bad, man. Honestly, the my internet being shitty was the worst part. Yeah, because it's
Can
just doing
imagine.
this thing, and I gotta have a guy come out. It did this like a year or two ago as well, where it just like stutters, man. It's just so bad. It's not even consistently laggy. It's just like randomly
And
I'll
you just
just
get like,
yeah, I'll just like lose connection to the internet for like 4 seconds, and then I connect right back, and it's like
yeah, that's dumb.
yeah, it's really bad. Especially when you're trying to game.
That's
It's like, oh, I can't move my character for
yeah.
4 seconds. It's pretty bad.
It used to happen when we stayed in the apartment still, and I was working remote over there, and we had fucking MediaCom, which, if you work for MediaCom and they provide you a check, no offense, but like them as a company and their practices of not like providing more stable internet, like I despise that company. But yeah, man, like trying to work and like I'd be on cue, then I wouldn't be on cue, like just for a few seconds, like you said, but then you have to restart everything. Like that is the
Yeah.
shittiest experience to like not have properly working internet when, you're like you said, trying to game or, in my case, trying to do your job, man. And they're starting to wonder, like, okay, if your internet's not reliable, I was worried I was going to lose my remote hours. Like, that was a very stressful time.
Yeah.
Very stressful.
It's definitely not fun at all for that. But the good news is that last time when it was happening, it was like the exact same thing was happening. I had a guy come out and he fixed it like just one day. So I've already scheduled an appointment, but it's not for another week and a half.
Yeah.
So
And see, that's another shitty thing, too. Like, like, hey, this is a service that I'm paying for. It's not functioning properly. Oh, well, we'll come out in a week. Well, it's like, okay, I still have to pay for this shit for the week that you're
yeah,
not. That's a bit,
yeah,
man. Like,
is a little crazy,
they,
huh?
yeah. Because like, imagine if it was like, another appliance or utility that you paid for. Like, oh, I don't have any electricity. Oh, well, we'll be out in a week. Like, wait, no, motherfucker. Like, you'll be out today. I'm paying for this.
Yeah, I mean it's works enough to watch YouTube videos, so I can't complain too much. But
Yeah.
gaming is just not really possible right now. It's a little unfortunate.
which makes for, because like I mean, especially in this day and age, like if you can't play online, you can't really do much of anything on a video game anymore, man. Like,
Well, I can play. We can play this video game.
but I mean,
Yeah.
does that even really qualify as a video game?
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of strategy in it, man. I mean, I'm doing the easy modes right now, so I don't have to use my brain power while we're doing a podcast. But like, it goes hard sometimes, man. It goes pretty crazy with it.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it does fit the criteria, like technically,
What do you
but
mean
like,
technically, bro? Have you seen? I mean, you probably shouldn't go down the rabbit hole of balloons YouTubers, but this shit goes hard, man. It goes
it
hard.
looks like it looks like Idle Heroes or like or no, maybe not Idle Heroes, but Archero. There's like it looks like your typical cell phone game.
I mean, it is. You can get it on your phone, but
Yeah, and which you know, like if that's what you do, like to pass the time, like no offense or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. Like I'm not shitting on it by any means, but you know, most
not.
like you know straight like modern video games, like you need to be connected to the internet to do shit.
Yeah, yeah, you do. All right, what do we got next on the chopping block here?
Next on the docket, all right, watch this. Here's a motherfucking segue for you
Okay,
fine
I'm
folks at
ready.
home. I'm about to segue the shit out of this shit.
Oh, shoot,
Okay,
he's a mall
so
cop.
COVID at home. I see what you did there, and I like it. COVID at home with shitty internet and nothing to binge on. Like that really breaks my heart, man, because we've been watching a lot of good movies lately. And you know, murder is like, you know, always a super popular theme. But
Oh,
we
right,
watched this
yeah, of
movie.
course, yeah. You know me, I
Yeah.
always just love murder.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, it keeps your teeth white, you know, talking about people getting slain.
Right,
But
okay. Maybe we have different opinions
but
on what's exciting.
we watched this movie called Woman of the Hour, which I would really I'd go out of my way to suggest, like if you're into like thriller movies, if you will. It was about this guy who was roaming the countryside in I think it was like the late 80s, early 80s, somewhere in there. Like, well, it was before like forensics was really a thing like that. So, you know, he was really like getting away with slaying a lot of women, they said. I think at the end that they suspect that he may have killed like, and of course I'm gonna butcher this number, but it was like I think it was close to like 100 ladies they suspect that this guy had killed. But it was really cool how he finally
Can't wait.
got
You heard it here
caught, and
first,
which
folks.
is
Killing 100 ladies is cool.
no, I you didn't let me finish. I said it was cool how he got caught because like of all of the people that he attacked, it was actually a teenage runaway that was the reason that he got caught, and we just felt like she was really clever in getting out of the situation. In which, okay, heavy spoilers ahead. So, like, if you don't want to be spoiled on Woman of the Hour, I'd say skip ahead maybe a couple of minutes here because I'm going to break down how the movie ended. But, like, it was just really cool to see this piece of shit get brought to justice. But, like, his thing, okay, here comes the spoiler. His thing with how he would, like, attack these women, like, he would, like, strangle them and then he would give them CPR and bring them back and kill them again, like, and just keep doing
Okay,
this
so he's like
process over and over again.
double the value.
Yeah, yeah, like he's getting every bit out of the murder that he can. So so yeah, he attacked this poor girl, and she came to, and she looks at him, and she assesses the situation. She sees that her hands are tied up. You know, she's been beaten, and she looks at him for a second, and he's not facing her. He's like he's crying because he does like you know, there's a part of him that realizes that he's fucked up, and like you know, he should be doing this shit, but like he just can't control it. But she looks at him and she goes, "Hey, would you mind not telling anyone about this? Like, do you think we could just keep this between us? I would be really embarrassed if anybody found out that I acted this way." And he like you could see on his face, he's like, "Well, wait a minute, what? She's not gonna talk? Like, what the hell?" And he takes her up on it. He's like, "Yeah, no, I won't tell anyone." And then like they get back in the car, and then again he said something to just kind of check her temperature, like, you know, "I'm sorry I got so rough." And she's like, "No, it's my fault." You know, and just really reassuring him that they were a couple now and that she loved him. And like, she just did everything right, man. Like, she didn't scream. She didn't try to run. She didn't try to fight him. She just tricked him basically. And then they
She
went to a
gaslit
gas.
him. She just
Yeah,
straight up
yeah,
lied
but
to this man.
it was masterful though, dude. Like, and like, that's what I'm saying. Like, all of these grown women that he had did this to that didn't think to do anything like this. And it took like a teenager, to figure out like how to survive, you know what I mean? And like
That's
the
so
super
fricked
sad
up,
thing
dude.
about yeah, but what makes it even more sad is like, okay,
How
if
can
she
she
knew to
live the
do
rest of
that,
her life knowing that she's a gaslighter?
okay, I'm for the folks at home that may not know, I know that that's just your brand of humor, but what I was gonna say is, I fucking lost my train of thought actually. Um, but yeah, just the fact that she was able to keep her wits about her in that situation, honestly, like the only way that she could have known to do that is if, she had been abused before, which is really fucking sad to think about that. Like, this girl had been abused so much that she knew how to manipulate abusers and, survive the abuse. Like, it was just,
Or she's an abuser herself and she knows what works.
she was a teenage runaway, man, and she only had like one full hand. Like, she had another hand, but it didn't really have any fingers on it. You know what I mean? So, like, it was clear that like she was just a survivor, man, and just knew,
Maybe
what
the
it took.
reason she had to run away was because she was the abuser. Maybe
I
they
don't
were
think that
coming
was.
after her and she was like, oh no, I gotta run away, otherwise I'm gonna get caught.
I don't think that was the case. But yeah, like if you're into like psychological, not really psychological thrillers, but just thrillers and like true story crime, Woman of the Hour was. And I'm a tough movie critic. There's not a lot of movies that I'm into like that. So the fact that I've seen two in the last week where I was like, damn, that's a really fucking good movie. Like,
What was the
that doesn't
first one?
happen very often. That Woman of the Hour, that was the first one. The second one, what I was gonna do another motherfucking segue. That was like, yeah, you
Oh,
stepped
okay.
on my segue there.
Sorry.
I was yeah. Um, but the second movie we watched last night, it was called Late Night with the Devil, in which this one obviously wasn't based on a true story, but they tried to make it as like it was like found footage as close to as they could. Like, it was about this late night host trying to beat Johnny Carson in the ratings, which like he was kind of like the Jay Leno of his time, or I guess like, well, for modern times he was like the Conan O'Brien of his time. But this guy was trying to get back in the ratings, and like, okay, again, super duper spoiler alert here for Late Night with the Devil. Like, I'm just gonna go like right to the meat of the plot. Basically, this guy made a deal with the devil because he was losing in the ratings and he wanted to get back to stardom. And but he didn't realize what the price of the deal with the devil would be, and they basically gave his wife cancer and killed her. So like
Was it
a
like a
couple years later,
fast death or did she like live for like 6 years and then die?
I mean, I don't. They didn't really say how long she was suffering, but like he did bring her on the show, and like she had gone through chemo, so she didn't have any hair, and she was struggling to breathe and in a lot of pain.
So his
And
punishment was like 5 more years with his wife.
his punishment was losing the love of his life to a painful disease.
But it wasn't like
But
instantaneous or like within a couple of months. It was like he had plenty of
no,
time to love her. And like he knew it was the
well,
deal probably, so like he knew she was
but
gonna
it's
die,
not.
so he could have
He
made the most
didn't
of
know
those
that.
years.
That was the thing. That was the thing. He didn't put it together that was what the payment was until the very end of the movie. Like, he didn't realize that was his punishment. He just thought that
So
his
he
wife
just
got
didn't read the
cancer.
contract.
Well, it wasn't like a typed up formal business contract. It was a fucking deal with the devil. So,
Well,
you
usually
know
usually
what I
those are
mean?
like usually they like
They
have
didn't
a
really
piece
go
of
in. They
fancy
didn't
piece of
really go
paper that
into
they're
the
like sign
specifics of the
here.
deal.
I feel like it's his own fault for not asking for more details, man.
Well, definitely. Well, I mean, it was his own fault for making a deal with the devil, regardless. Like, that never goes right. You know what I mean? But
I mean, it
it
could.
was
Who
yeah.
knows?
But yeah, it was an incredible movie. Very fucking scary. Like, if you're into horror, and it's Halloween right now, Late Night with the Devil was scary as fuck. And yeah, awesome movie. But yeah, it was. I just thought that was super crazy that in the same week I saw two movies that I actually liked. Like that's pretty rare. Like usually, especially these days, movies will kind of have like those open-ended endings, so you can't really like it's up to you to interpret how the story goes from here. And I just really fucking hate that. Like I hate when movies do that shit. Like it's like you wasted 2 hours of my life to not write an ending, and like it.
You mean it's open ended for a sequel, is what you're saying?
Well, no, no, I can definitely, I can totally understand and respect like if they leave it open for a part two. But if it's not one of those movies that's like not leaving it up for a sequel, they're just like, oh, you figure out what happened. Like that pisses me off.
I don't think I've seen too many movies like that.
I feel like all of the movies we watch anymore are fucking like that, and it's so frustrating, man. So frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Do you have any examples? Because like I cannot think of a movie that does that. That isn't just like a
Uh,
sequel setup.
Now, see, like off the top of my head, of course, I don't have a readily made example, but I will
Oh,
think
of
on it.
course, of course.
Yeah, I mean, well, you put me on the spot here, you know.
Right, right, right. Okay.
I'm trying to think. The fucking movie. Let me refer to the missus. Hey, um, when I get super pissed off because a movie doesn't really have an ending like that, can you think of a movie we've watched recently where that happened?
Yesterday.
I liked the movie yesterday.
Oh, I thought you said those motherfuckers.
Well, no, I definitely did, but no, in a good way.
Uh, there's so many. Like I can't.
Yeah, that's it. Like I just told Marcel, like I'm on the spot now. I can't think of one in particular, but I generally anymore, like 9 times out of 10, I'm like, well, that was fucking stupid. That's usually my movie
It's
review.
what's inside. You didn't really like
Oh
it.
my fucking god. Okay, thank you. Oh my fucking god, dude. Okay, in which um, it started out as a pretty good movie, but this guy worked for this company where if you hook yourself and another person up to like these little diodes that they put all over your body, it would switch your brain with the other person. Well, not your brain, but your consciousness. Like it basically would put you in someone else's body.
Oh, I think I saw an ad for this. Was this the one where it was like a group of like 20-year-old people at like a party?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's the one. And
That shit looked horrible in the ad that
it
I
was
saw.
fucking. It was okay. Like it kept you like, okay, how are they gonna get out of this? Where's it going? But like at the end, because okay, so one guy and his girlfriend were kind of like they were in a rocky point in their relationship because like they weren't having sex quite often, and it was kind of an underlying understanding between the two of them that he kind of wanted to be with this other girl that was in their friends group, but like she just friend zoned him and she wasn't into him like that. So of course his girlfriend ends up switching bodies with the pretty chick, and she comes up to her boyfriend who is in someone else's body at the time, and like it was like five or six of them, and two of the people who had switched bodies were having sex in someone else's body, so of course they died. And so now two people are like, okay, I can stay. I guess I'm stuck in this other body because my body's dead. And
Well, why did they die? Because they had sex? Was that like an unwritten rule? Like if you have sex, you die?
in a horror movie, usually, yeah. If you're doing
Oh.
drugs or having sex in a horror movie, you're 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get killed.
Okay.
But yeah, so they were having sex up against this balcony. The balcony collapsed. They fell off and then got like impaled on a bunch of like rebarb or some shit. But
Hold on, they went from having sex to getting impaled on a rebarb?
yeah, they were because he had they were like leaned up against a balcony, like standing up doing it, and
How?
the balcony.
What?
Yeah.
Do sex better, man. What the fuck is that? Go get a bed. What the hell?
Well, in the heat of the moment, sometimes I can understand.
Nah.
And they're in this like
Nah.
mansion doing all the drugs.
You're in a
partying,
mansion and you can't
things
find yourself a
happen, I get
fucking
it.
bed? That's some
But
bullshit.
So the girlfriend comes up to the guy, and they're in. She's in the hot chick's body. He's in some other dude's body, and she's like, I don't remember exactly how she put it, but basically the gist of it was, you liked her more than me, so I'm just gonna stay in this body. And like he's looking at her like, wait, what? But then ultimately she presses the issue, so he agrees. But because he agreed, somehow that means that like he's some kind of chauvinist pig, and the girl tricks him into, or she doesn't trick him, but she frames him for the murder of the people that were having sex and fell off the balcony. So the end of the movie is like this whole big super duper girl power moment where the dude has to spend the rest of his life in prison for murder because his girlfriend felt insecure that he had a crush on this other girl before they even dated. Like, I was like, this is so fucking stupid. Like,
That sounds like a pretty conclusive ending. What do you mean that the ending was bad?
why does he deserve to spend life in prison?
He doesn't, bro. It's a bad ending. Things
Well,
aren't always fairy tale and butterflies, man.
Well, no, it was that, and then there was like this crazy little sister that somehow tricked her way into the body of the guy whose equipment it was because like he had sex with her and didn't call her back. Like it was so like she's in a car with the technology, and it's like, wait a minute. So she gets off scot-free? Like I don't like I said, like throughout the movie it was pretty good. I just hate the way they wrapped it up. And
I mean, it's a horror movie. Like, they're not all supposed to have good endings. If they all had good endings, then there wouldn't be much suspense because you would just know that it ends good. You gotta have like at least half of them. Gotta have bad, horrible endings that are shit for at least a couple people.
like, well, okay, but not even necessarily good in the sense of like the good guys win, but like make it make sense, you know? Like, how does that make sense?
I mean, the dude ending up in prison because he murdered two people. That makes sense to me. If you murder people, you should probably go to prison.
But he didn't murder anyone.
Well, according to society, he did. He was found guilty. He murdered those people, man.
Oh wait, no, but didn't the guy, like somebody else in his body, called the police and said he did it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I left that part out. So that
Oh, so he just...
okay, that makes a little more sense now that I'm thinking about that out loud.
So he confessed to a crime and went to prison for it, and you don't like that. Okay. Just making sure I'm understanding this right.
Have you ever seen The Mist?
No.
That's a good movie, but the ending was very sad. Basically, the guy ended up killing himself and his son for no reason.
No, he didn't kill himself.
Oh, well, yeah, he killed his son, and he was about to kill himself, but then he realized people were coming to save the day, so yeah, he murdered his son for no reason. Which, that movie, and like, if you have like any kind of phobia of bugs or insects, I would definitely not suggest that movie because they have like these interdimensional flying spider dealies that like come through this portal. And but other than that, it was a pretty good movie. It was a pretty cool concept. Like, these people get trapped in a grocery store.
We've all been there.
And they're trapped because this thick fog rolls into the town. Like, you can't even see like 5 feet in front of you through this thick ass fog.
Oh, so it's just
And they thought that
Persona
at
4?
first it was just the fog, so then people try to start leaving the grocery store, but then they start getting ripped apart by like all of these like insects and Lovecraftian type creatures that crawled through this portal that the military opened up. But it's just about them trying to survive the mist. But yeah, it was a pretty good movie. Horrible ending though.
Well, this just in, if you're ever at a party and somebody has a magical device you hook up to your temples and says you're going to swap bodies with people, take the damn things off. That was what pissed me off when I watched the trailer of that movie. Because, like, everyone's hooked up and they're like, so what's exactly going to happen? And he's like, you're going to swap bodies. And nobody took the fucking things off immediately. No one was like, nah, I'm out. Everyone kept it on. I was like, what? Are you serious? For real? I'm like, take the fucking things off, you idiot. Take them off. What are you doing? Why are they still on your head? What do you mean? So.
Yeah, no, I definitely would not agree to be stuck. Because, like, what if, things happen. What if the machine malfunctions and then now you're just stuck in someone else's body forever? Like,
or like, what if you're like, this sounds like the plot of a horror movie, I'm out. I'm going home. You know,
Yeah, definitely that too.
it's like, eh? It's just kind of wild.
Definitely that too.
I need some more popping power over here. What about we go for a
So
one
does
of
this
these?
thing does Discord track how long we've been on the call? Like where are we at on time on
We're at
Discord?
40 minutes. That's not Discord
Oh,
though. That's
okay.
my recording software. So we got a little bit.
Okay. So yeah, we
Also,
can touch another topic. Hang on.
we
Yeah,
never
let me see what we
hit.
got.
You passed Menendez Bros and Rock and Roll.
Oh, okay. So yeah, still on the topic of murder, in which I was basically we could circle it back to philosophy in the sense that like, do you think that there should be like if you get sent to jail for murder and like the general consensus is that you did do the murder, do you think that like there should be any kind of loophole to where you get to come home from prison after that?
Yeah, like good behavior and parole isn't that how it works?
For murder, though, do you think that there should be good behavior and parole?
I mean, it depends on like how vicious the murder was. If it was like you chopped them up with your bare hands and like savagely brutalized them for hours on end, then probably not. But if it's just like you kind of accidentally bumped them and they fell off a balcony because you had a scuffle, and like you sure regret, then I think sure after like I don't know 5 years or something in prison, you should, if you've shown that you've done good, then you can come on out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if
See,
it's
in
like
this
pretty
instance,
brutal, then I think like sucks to be you. You gotta go to prison forever.
yeah, they murdered their parents at point blank range with shotguns. So,
Yeah, that one's pretty bad. But like if they just had a grudge only against their parents, I think it also comes down to like how much regret they're showing. Like, do they show any level of remorse, or like, yeah, maybe I should have murdered my parents, or
do
they're
you
like, I
believe?
do it again.
Are you for or against the death penalty?
um, I don't know. It's kind of my dad has a hilarious take on that one. I'll tell my dad's take.
Yeah.
We all know my dad. So his take was he used to be pretty much against it. Um, and then one day he saw a story about a woman who drove into a lake with her child in the car.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that was a. I feel bad that I don't
and then
remember
my dad
seeing
changed
that.
his mind and he said
That
those people can fucking die. He's like, if you're psychotic enough to kill your own child, then you could die too. So,
yeah, there are some people that are just bad people, man. Like, I definitely think that under certain circumstances, you should just kill a motherfucker, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some pretty bad stuff people do that probably warrants death, but it's always a question of like, what if they didn't do it? Like, what if they really didn't? Like, what if she didn't drive her daughter into the car? What if her car just like the brakes broke on him or something? Like, I guess you would have to like plead guilty. Like, I feel like you'd have to like say that you did it with no remorse for me to feel comfortable killing you. Because otherwise, there's like still that 0.001% chance that you didn't do it, and you're killing someone with that chance. Like, you kill 1,000 people, and it's a 0.1% chance that one of them didn't do it. Odds are one of them you just killed an innocent man. So
I don't know, man. With forensics these days, dude, it's really. I think it would be really difficult to get that wrong in this day and age.
I mean, you would hope so, but like, I mean, it happens every once in a while, man. It doesn't have to happen every time, like I said. Even just 1 in 1,000 times. But if you slaughter 1,000 people with the death penalty, odds are one of them was innocent. So
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that that's not possible, but I don't think it's very probable.
no, it's definitely not, but it's definitely a sticky subject for sure to have to decide to end someone's life over a crime they commit. Again, it would have to be like a really brutal crime. Like, obviously, I think most people would agree with that. That if you're gonna do it, it's got to be like, you're really fucked up. And I think you also have to
Like,
show no remorse. I think showing remorse and regret, I think, is like a big thing in my eyes. It's like if you're like, I should not have done that, I have to live the rest of my life knowing that I did that, then like probably don't have to at least
see, but
die
the
for
sad
it.
thing with that though is people can fake that.
Yeah, but I mean, most people aren't gonna fake it. I feel like most of them are gonna actually show it, but
I think that, like, especially if you start looking at, the reality of what your life is going to be if found guilty for murder, I
well, I mean
think that there are
the alternative is like life in prison versus death penalty. Like if you're showing remorse and guilty, you just get life in prison. You don't get like it's not like you're gonna get let out of prison. It's like you're either gonna be stuck in prison for the rest of your damn life, no chance of parole, or you're gonna die if you don't fake remorse. Like, I'm okay with someone faking remorse if all they're getting out of it is life in prison. Like,
life.
I'm okay with that. Look, all right, I'll say it right here. You can take it from me. Quote me on this one. If if all you're getting is life in prison, I'm okay with you faking remorse. Yeah, I think if there's like a chance for him to get out back in society, then probably shouldn't give him the chance for that.
There's opportunities for you to hurt other people. Even if you are in prison, you can still attack security guards. Like, of course, I have a lot of inside stories about, with both of my parents working in corrections. Those guards, man, they get attacked all the time. And just because you're locked in prison forever doesn't mean you can't still hurt innocent people, or even other prisoners that are, trying to reform, like.
I mean, I suppose certainly, but like if you're just in the prison, just like murdering people, then it's just like, why can't we just like change our verdict? It's like, nah, actually, you get death penalty now. See ya.
Yeah.
We should just do that just in general. Like if you're just bad in prison, they'll just like kill you. That might like stop prison crime. What do you think? Thoughts? Just don't not only make it for like people who did horrible crimes. Make it for everyone. Like you did petty crime. If you do more crime in prison, then you go to the electric chair.
I definitely think that like I would be okay with it, but I don't think society as a whole would be okay with it because
you don't think
those
so?
guys still have. Yeah,
like
well,
if you made one
prisoners...
strike, right? You got one strike that got you in prison, and then you do another strike while you're in prison. Like you beat the shit out of a guard. Like you don't think that warrants death? Like you've been given 2 chances and you blew both of them, man. Maybe like a 3-chance thing.
A lot of people, like a lot of those guys, have families, So like I don't think that.
Then don't hurt people in prison. What do you mean? If you want to go out and see your family, then don't hurt people. It's a pretty good incentive, I think.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. I just think that a lot of people would like prison reform and like rights for prisoners and stuff like that. That's a really hot topic these days, and I think mainly in part for Kim Kardashian's involvement in it.
Kim Kardashian was in prison?
No, she's really big on prison reform, and like she's had her hand in getting a lot of prisoners out of prison lately. I'm trying to think. Did she get Anna Delvey out of prison?
I don't know. I feel like if you tell these prisoners like if you don't behave, you're gonna fucking die. I feel like they might start behaving and reform better.
You would think.
Yeah, I would. I mean, we can just try it out for a couple decades, and if it doesn't work out, we can just revert it. No big deal.
I don't know, man. I don't think that would go over well.
There's only one way to find out,
Yeah. Like I said, I don't disagree, but I don't think that would go over so well.
Well, there's only one way to find out. All right, you got rock and roll.
Oh yeah, I joined a rock and roll band, man. So I think ultimately, just around like even work and stuff and in real life, I think I will be a lot less pissy because I'll have that outlet to scream and curse at the top of my lungs once a week again. So that's gonna be pretty fun, man. I'm super excited about that. Like it is it will be pretty cool though, because like I came to work Thursday morning and Jennifer was like, "Are you sick?" And I was just like, "No, I was just screaming and hollering because like I didn't really have much of a voice in the morning." So that will be kind of shitty on Thursday mornings, especially on the phones. But I think it'll be a fair trade-off as far as me working out a lot of frustration going forward.
Now, have you considered just not having the frustration in the first place?
Yeah, that's a little easier said than done, though, man.
Well, then just say it.
Especially when you're arguing with someone and English isn't their first language. It's a little difficult to not get frustrated for me.
Uh-huh. I see. Well, yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have some of your songs going on in the background of our podcast,
I don't know if people will wanna, on
We just
their
have it, like,
Saturday
quiet,
morning
Just have it, like...
hear me screaming and cursing in the background. I don't know if that'll go over so well.
Well, I just tell them not to watch it on Saturday. I mean, just because we upload it on Saturday doesn't mean they gotta watch it on Saturday,
Well, yeah, that's true. I put like a volume warning.
Well, no, we would have it quiet in the background, like it wouldn't...
Oh, so just me quietly.
Yeah, it'd be like just
making
background
dick
music,
references lower.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I don't know if I make background music, man. I don't know if you can. Like, I think it would take away from what we were, even if it was quiet. I think it would still kind of distract from what we were trying to talk about.
Well, okay,
Like,
what if we didn't hear it and it was only the viewers who heard it? And then it would just lead to really
that's what
funny
I'm saying.
moments where we're talking about the death penalty and you're like, fuck this shit!
I guess we could try it out, but that's what I'm saying. I think it would be a little difficult for them to focus on what we were talking about if I'm, making dick references in the background.
No, I think it'd make it easier. Because we're always talking about dicks anyway, so...
Well, yeah, that is true. So yeah, it might be on theme. It might be more on theme than I'm giving it credit for.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You just gotta believe in yourself. You gotta get your voice out there.
Comment down below if you would like to hear random dick references in between our conversation.
Well, more random dick because we already have those, obviously. So if you want more,
Right? Yeah. Do you want to be distracted from your dick references by
with
dick
dick references
over guitar?
over guitar, let us know. What's the name of the band, though?
We don't know yet. That's I've got a list. So yeah, maybe if you want to comment down below too, like cool band names that you think
the
of,
Shitters.
Like, shit. Okay, I'll add that.
Yeah.
Because I haven't workshopped these with any of the other guys yet either. Because we've only had the one practice so far. So yeah, we'll have to put some.
Yeah, if the Shitters doesn't win, then you need to get a new band.
Well, you know how there's the band Five Finger Death Punch? Have you ever heard of them?
I mean, I've heard the name. I don't know any of their songs.
Yeah. But like, I thought that like a cool play on that like would be like the exact opposite. So I was thinking Sturdy Handshake.
Oh, I was thinking Four Toe Life Kick.
Four Toe Life Kick.
Yeah, he said the opposite.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool too. I like that. Four Toe Life Kick. I'm gonna have to write that down. So we got the Shitters and Four Toe Life Kick. I'll have to add to the list.
Oh, that one sounds too long.
Do you think Robert De Niro could sue me if I called the band Robert De Niro?
Who the hell is Robert De Niro?
Oh wow, man!
Robert
Way to make
De
me feel like
Niro. Oh yeah, I know that guy. I mean, just wait till he dies, and then you're probably good to go. He looks pretty old.
Wait.
Yeah. Just don't publish any songs.
There's no way you didn't just give somebody a stroke just now.
Why? What? He's 81, bro. He's gonna die soon.
Well, no, I'm saying that I'm sure there's at least one person when you said who's Robert De Niro that was like, what?
He's 81. What? Why am I? I mean, I know him. I've seen the face. Like,
Yeah, he's a
I just
pretty
didn't know the name, which is like my
highly
thing,
respected.
dude. Like, that's like what I'm famous for, is for knowing the face but not the name. People say like Kim Kardashian. I'll be like, who the fuck is that? You know?
Yeah, which that's warranted though, because she's basically just famous for being famous. Like she doesn't really. I mean, I guess she's doing stuff now, like she's doing the prison reform thing, but that's not really. I don't think many people would judge you for not knowing who she is.
Well, I do know that one, unfortunately. But you know, that was just an example.
You know?
But yeah, I've seen him
But
before. He's an actor. He's in those movies, you know.
yeah.
Let us know in the comments below
Um.
what's your favorite Robert De Niro movie. I could not list one because
Oh
I
man,
don't know of a single movie off the top of my head that he's in.
what was that movie he was in with Adam Sandler? I know you don't know, but I'm trying to think of it. And that's how like he did a movie with anger management. Him and Adam Sandler did. Or wait, is that even the guy? I might not even be thinking of the right guy. I do that sometimes because I get Robert De Niro and Al Pacino mixed up.
They do look pretty similar. They do both look like
Well, and they're
mob
in,
bosses.
yeah, they make a lot of mafia-like movies, so it's kind of yeah. So I'll take that back. I'm not gonna try to start naming Robert De Niro movies and accidentally name a bunch of Al Pacino movies. So.
Why would you want to name your
Hey,
band Robert De Niro though? Like, what is?
I just think it would be funny. Like that's usually why I do a lot of
All
the
right, I'm
things
fair
that I
enough.
do. There's not really much.
I
Well,
don't
there's not
know if
really.
I would find. I think it'd be more confusing than funny, in my
Well,
opinion.
yeah, people's confusion makes me laugh. Like that's my jam. When like I say or do something and people are just like, "Wait, what? Why?" Like that's my favorite thing.
Well, yeah, that could be all right then. I mean, if we want to do, trying to think, doing a name that would get people really confused, that wouldn't be possible to get sued for.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like we don't even really have I mean, we've started on a few
Is
songs,
there
but we don't
already
even
a band called Cog in the Machine? Surely there already is, right?
cog in the machine. Oh, kind of like a play on Rage Against the Machine.
I didn't even know that was a band. I was just thinking Cog in the Machine. Because, like, that's all we are at the end
Oh,
of the day. It's just a cog in the machine of society, you know?
yeah. But no, yeah, Rage Against the Machine, man, they're a legendary rock band. But yeah, that kind of would be a like a play on that. Cog in the Machine. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna add that to the list actually. But then I think people might get confused that we were a Rage Against the Machine cover band, in which I would hate for like somebody coming
Well, there's your confusion that you
expecting.
want people to.
Well, but see, but in that sense though, that makes people feel like they've been like uh, you know, hoodwinked, and I don't want that. Like I don't want people in
You
the
don't want to be
crowd pissed
winking
off.
people's hoods?
I don't want people wanting their money back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want somebody like I thought I was going to hear Rage Against the Machine songs. We only do one.
I think you just say, it sucks to be you. Maybe you should have read the pamphlet or something.
Yeah.
All right, well,
But then
we're at about an hour. You got anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this one up?
no, we can put a bow on this sucker. I mean, we got to do one more anyways, right?
We got to do like 7 more. We gotta
I'm good for I'm good for one more.
good for
I got some
6 more.
breakfast. Good for one more. I have yet to have breakfast today, and it's smelling good out there.
Smelling good out there?
Yeah, man.
Oh, your wife's
She's
cooking. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like outside, like on your patio for some reason. And I was like, what the
Oh,
are you talking about? Who eats breakfast outside like a psychopath? But that does make a little bit more sense if it's just your wife's cooking. That does do be making sense. All right, well, folks, well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed the Balloons Tower Defense 6 gameplay in the background of our podcast here since we couldn't be in person building Legos. Yeah. Well,
Oh yeah, speaking of, is there a winner? Like, do you know which one we're doing?
I mean, I think it's still the DeLorean, I believe. I don't think anyone has voted,
Yeah.
except for one person. So we could say that the DeLorean won by a single vote.
Well, a single vote can also be a landslide. We learned that today.
When? What? When the fuck
Just
did we
now.
learn that?
Just now. Like, it just happened in real time. Like, as I was saying it, I learned it.
Okay. You
And
lost
that's
me.
like, that's topical. Like, because it's, it's voting season.
Okay, hold on. Let me go see if we got any. We've got any comments. Comments. Yes, the only one is the only vote is for the DeLorean.
All right, I guess we're going back to the future, which I can rant about that like literally every time that we podcast until we finish it. That the movie should have been called To the Past, but I guess that's the topic.
But then he had to go back to the future, or I guess to
He
the
had to go
present.
back. Yeah, back to the present.
But
So,
from
yeah,
the
I'd be
from the
okay if it was
perspective of the
called-
past where he was for most of the movie, it was the future.
he was going back to his present time. It wasn't the future.
Yeah, but it was the future for the past where the movie took place.
I'm not buying it, man. I'm not like that's I know that like I'm like usually wrong about stuff, but I'm dying on that hill, man. That movie should have been called To the Past.
It's just much more boring, though. That's a title. Anyways, folks, as always, dog jump off bed.
Philosophy.